Hi, this is Satiris Basakropoulos with day 14 of my 30-day video challenge. And the title of today's video is 5 people that made a difference in the way I think about business and money. The first person who actually changed the way I think about business and money was actually a man called Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't looked him up or read any of his stuff, I have a website called robertkiyosaki.ws and it has a lot of his videos on it. And you can go there and watch a lot of his videos. I recommend watching the Cash Flow Quadrant videos and his book Rich Dad Poor Dad. He also has a book which was very good called How to Guide to Becoming Rich Without Cutting Up Your Credit Cards. And there was another one as well called the Cash Flow Quadrant. There's a book as well. Highly recommend reading those. Reading those books from Robert Kiyosaki really changed everything from the way I think about money and businesses and so on. The second person who really changed the way that I made a difference in the way I think about business and money is Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn, he died about in 2009, but he was an absolutely brilliant speaker. He was a mentor to Tony Robbins, and he had some fantastic stories. I have a website of him as well. It's called jimrohn.ws, and there's a lot of really good videos of him in different seminars and stuff and events. Really worth listening to. One of his famous sayings was he used to talk about the magic part-time, and basically you can start a business part-time, and instead of working full-time on a living, you can start a business and work part-time on your fortune. And that was his story, for getting people to actually join him in his businesses was, to actually ask them would they like to start working part-time on their fortune instead of working full-time on their living. So the next person, he also talked a lot about, using positive and negative emotions. As a matter of fact, there was a bit of a discussion today in a mastermind that I'm in, and it was actually very interesting because I had my mind sort of moving all over the place because, I've listened to a lot of books and a lot of different things and watched The Secret and stuff like that, and I do realise, that a positive mindset, will attract a lot of positive, stuff. But one of the things that Jim Rohn always said was that, life has both positive and negative emotions, and they're there for a reason. They're there for a reason. So, instead of actually trying to ignore the negative emotions, it's important to actually look at them and learn from those as well, rather than just try and, always be happy and positive all the time. I'm a great believer in natural health care, and, I think a lot of the things that we're being given and so on in, hospitals and from health people and stuff like that are actually killing us. There's a lot of toxic things and vaccinations and all these other different medicines that are being given out to people, and really I think it's a lot of people would say that's a negative subject, but really I think it's quite positive, because if you don't talk about it and you sort of ignore the issues of things which is damaging and having a negative effect on people's lives, then it's going to end up damaging and killing more people. So sometimes I think it's important, to balance the positive and the negative. It's great to be positive all the time. Have a lot of positivity in my life, but I also, see things that are negative, and I do believe that, they should be shared. I don't believe that you should try and pretend that you're living in some kind of, special cocoon here on the planet, and and you're sort of immune from everything, and nobody else is, because at the end of the day, what happens is, another thing that Jim Rohn always said was, people talk about ignorance as bliss, but what Jim Rohn actually said was, ignorance is a catastrophe. And I'm a big believer in that, because, I ignored a lot of health things before, and my dad, ignored a lot of his health and went to the doctors and listened to all the stuff and all the insulin and all the different drugs that he was given for being diabetic. And instead of going down the natural health route, he just sort of followed the status quo. And, I believe he died, well before his time, because of just ignorance, because of not knowing these things. So I think it's very important to know the negative things that go on as well as the positive, because by doing that you can save lives. You can save the lives of your family, you can save the lives of your kids, you can save the lives of your friends, and I don't think you can get much more positive than that, right? So if I have to say a few negative things on Facebook to save a few hundred or a few thousand people, I don't mind. I really don't mind saying negative as well as the positive, because I believe that both should be discussed. I don't like hanging around people who have a negative attitude all the time and who are always complaining about everything all the time. But at the same time, if somebody's spraying poison on top of your head, or if somebody's pumping mercury into your body with vaccinations, or somebody is giving you drugs which drive you practically psychotic, to go around shooting people, like what happens a lot in the USA, I believe that you should know about it. Whether it's negative or not, you should still know about it, because that negative thing that you can do something to make a positive change in people's lives. So, I go with what Jim Rohn says. You need to take the positive and the negative and use both of them. Like for example, sometimes people just get disgusted with their life. Something in their life disgusts them or really pisses them off, and that's what actually makes them change their life. They get disgusted and they say, right, that's it, I'm going to make a change. Jim Rohn has a video where he talks about this woman who was very, very wealthy, made a lot of money. And basically what happened was, she went to her husband one day and asked him for $10. And he basically said, why do you want $10? What do you want $10 for? And she was disgusted, she was disgusted. And she said, that's the last time I'm ever going to ask, for money. That's the last time I'm ever going to ask him for money. She went out, she became very, very successful businesswoman, became a millionairess, and never had to ask for money again. And that was because of disgust. So, both positive and negative emotions, and positive and negative things, I think, are sent to, can help as well as actually hinder people. So that's my little talk about that. The other person who made a difference in the way I think about business and money is a guy called Zig Ziglar. He was also a good salesman, and he, his statement was, if you help others get what they want, you will get more of what you actually want. And I think that's a very good statement to live by. Another thing that he would talk about in his videos would be cost versus price. And he in a couple of videos he made like different different conversations about cost versus price. I think that's very important too, because sometimes things are more expensive, to buy initially. And one of the ones he was talking about was a printer. And basically he went to sell someone a printer, and I think the printer was, say it was, 2,000, I don't know, maybe it was, I can't remember, I think it was maybe $20,000 or something like that. Maybe it was $20,000, a state-of-the-art printer which basically did everything. And he offered someone to buy the printer, and they said it was too expensive. And Zig Ziglar said to him, well, why is it too expensive? Is it the cost or is it the price? And the guy was like, what are you talking about? Well, he says, at the minute, he says that the printers that you have now, you have to actually have one of your secretaries full time going around, filling them up and emptying them and doing everything. And, it uses up, most of her day doing that. So at the moment, you're paying her, $9,000 a year, okay? You're paying her $9,000 a year. So over the next 5 years, that's going to cost your business, $46,000. You're going to be paying someone to go around unloading the printer and stuff that you actually have now. The alternative is, you could pay $20,000. You get this one which comes with a, 10-year guarantee, and basically, you don't actually need anyone to operate it. It's completely, it basically operates itself. All the systems are work themselves, so you don't actually have to have someone going around shuffling around papers and moving the papers, because this automatically sorts everything. So basically, the true cost of not buying this machine is going to actually cost you $47,000 over the next 5 years, and it's going to cost you $90,000 in labour over the next 10 years, right? But to actually buy the machine is going to cost you $20,000. So if you buy the machine, it's actually going to save you $80,000 over the next 10 years. So is it the price or the cost that is your problem? So immediately the guy was, right? And I think that's very, very important too. Sometimes people don't think about the true price of something when they're actually buying it. And it's a good idea to always look at that as well. Another person that made a difference way I think about business and money was a guy called Dolph DeRoos. He was one of Robert Kiyosaki's advisors, and I went to a few of his seminars a couple of times. I went once in London and once or twice, I think once in Earl's Court, and I can't remember where the other one was. But, what Dolph DeRoos used to say was, you want to act, as if, you're a certain type of person, and if you keep on acting like that, eventually you will become that person. And one of the things he said that, he would always at least carry, at least $1,000 in his pocket. And the thing is, when you carry around $1,000, now a lot of people think, oh, well, if I lose $1,000, that'd be a disaster. But he says, even, if you lifted it off your credit card or whatever, and you carry $1,000, you will feel much wealthier. And the thing is, when you actually carry around a load of money like that with you, loads of business opportunities come up and loads of deals come up, because you feel differently when you actually have cash on. You actually feel differently. You feel you can buy things, whereas when you have your wallet, with small amount of money in it, you actually feel like you can't afford something, and you're running around thinking about how to get the money out of the bank or how to get this from here, so it actually closes down a lot of opportunities. So that was a really good thing that I thought, Dolph said. Another thing was like, fake it till you make it. And really, everyone starts off at the beginning in anything. Doesn't matter what business you're in, doesn't matter, what you do, you always start off at the beginning. And the thing is, I have met, and, I do a lot of internet marketing, I coach people on the internet, and I have met people who, started doing stuff on the internet maybe 10 years ago, right? and they still act like they're complete newbies. They still act like, you know, like they're just starting out, right, on the internet. And the thing is, you know, after doing internet marketing for 6 months, you know, they should have been saying, you know, I'm an internet marketer, I do internet marketing, I can do this, I can set up a website, I can do social media, I can do this, I can do that. But they still, you know, years later, still see themselves as a novice. And the thing is, everyone else also sees them as a novice, and they don't make money because of that. So, you know, you need to, not even so much as fake it till you make it, but you need to decide, you know, I am this person, this is what I do, you know, I'm a business consultant, I'm a, you know, webmaster, I'm a blogger, I'm an affiliate marketer, I'm a, you know, professional AdWords person, you know, and make a decision and decide you're that person. And once you realise that you're that person, you will act like the person you need to be, and you will achieve what you need to achieve. So I think it's also important to, you know, sort of decide that that's the person you are, right? And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like when you make a decision to be in a certain mood, you know, in the beginning, you might think it's a bit freaky, but then after a while, it just becomes natural, you know, and you just feel good naturally because you say, you know, I'm feeling good today, I'm feeling good today, I'm feeling good today. And after a while, your subconscious mind says, right, I'm feeling good today. Whereas these other people who all say, oh, you know, it's a terrible day, or, you know, they always have that negative thing going on and they always feel negative. So, you know, you can turn that around by using those types of things. Another person who's made, you know, a big difference in the way I think about business money is a man called Pat Slattery. And at the moment, we do fortnightly mastermind with him. And he comes up with, you know, some very, very inspiring things. He's very, very good at getting people together, getting people to work together, getting people to build up strategic alliances, you know, getting one business to go and work with another business to bring the other business more customers. And it's actually quite amazing, you know, the results that people get just by doing that sort of thing, you know. It's very, very good. It makes a big difference, and, you know, people can get fantastic results just from things that sound maybe simple like that, but it's amazing what a huge difference it makes. So that's really my video for today. If you haven't already joined the 30-day video challenge, you can click the link below this video. It's a short webinar just explained about the 30-day video challenge. You get a list of ideas for your videos for your 30 days, so you don't have to think up your own. Or if you want, you can also make up your own videos. That's all right as well. And the idea of the 30-day video challenge is to get yourself out there on YouTube, out there on the internet for 30 days, loads of videos, so people can find out more about your business, whether it be online or offline, whether, you know, it's a traditional business or, you know, your internet marketing, or, you know, you're a health coach, a health guru, you know, whether you have a, you know, an equestrian centre, whether you have a restaurant, it doesn't really matter. You know, if you get 30 videos out, at the end of the 30 videos, people who see them are going to know more about you. They're going to know what you do, and they're going to know, if you explain to them, they're going to know about how they can contact you, how they can come to your business, how they can do business with you, how they can interact and communicate with you. And also, you know, being able to listen to their videos and chat with them means that, you know, you get to like and trust them better, which means they're more likely to do business with you as well. So if you haven't already, you can click the link below the video. It's www.buildingabetterblog.com/30day video challenge, 30-day video challenge. So www.buildingabetterblog.com/30-day DAY video challenge, and that will take you to the webinar where you'll be able to get access The 30-day video challenge is completely free, so it doesn't cost you anything. So don't worry about having to pay anything to join or anything like that. It's completely free. I look forward to talking to you next video. Thanks very much.